Hello and welcome back to the Greek Pyramid. You may be sat there thinking, why has the little Greek Pyramid logo got a Christmas hat on it? And that is because I am doing a 12 videos of Christmas. So I'll be attempting to do a video every other day leading up to Christmas throughout December. I feel like this is something that might have been done a bit more during, a few years ago on YouTube, but I thought I would give it a try. I did only think of this idea on the 21st of November, and I think people usually pre-plan these further in advance, so I won't be too surprised if it fails, but we're going to give it a go anyway. Let's just go straight in with the video, and this is the first video of the 12 videos of Christmas. So this fan theory today is regarding why Percy isn't actually the child of the prophecy. I came across this theory from Yuli Yala on Reddit, and it's definitely an interesting one. So to take a look at this, we have to go all the way back to the Lightning Thief, where in which Percy goes into the Lotus Hotel and ends up getting stuck there for 5 days, whilst barely noticing time passing. Whilst time doesn't necessarily stop whilst in there, it just runs at an incredibly slow pace. People who were in there still knew time was passing in some way, such as Nico and Bianca thought they'd spent just a few months in there, when in actual fact it was 70 years. So at least we know there's some form of passage of time within the hotel. If we then move forward to the Sea of Monsters and the Titan's Curse, to Talia, who was once considered to be the child of the prophecy after being brought back to life from tree form. And there was some quite wibbly-wobbly ideas about how old she was, how much slower she had aged while she was a tree. As by birthdays alone, her 16th birthday had already passed whilst she was a tree. Therefore, we know the prophecy is based on the physical age of the person rather than the date of their birth equaling 16. Of course, Talia then goes on to join the Hunters of Artemis, so this is almost a moot point, but it helps us to know how that age of 16 is decided. As in theory, she would have been making some form of choice about the end of the world whilst she was a tree. Anyway, this theory is stating that due to the fact Percy spent 5 days in the Lotus Hotel, this means he is actually 5 days younger-ish. Again, that would imply time completely stops, but the point still stands. So, using this logic, he wouldn't reach 16 until 5 days after his birthday. So, when the prophecy is completed on the morning of his 16th birthday, it is wrong, and I kind of don't really know what this means from here, but does this mean the great prophecy isn't fulfilled, or that it isn't fulfilled until 5 days after his 16th birthday? All seems a little bit off to me, but it's an interesting theory, I must admit. There is some form of weight there, but I've got a kind of counter theory to it, in that in most of the magical places that they have visited during the Percy Jackson series, we've seen that time isn't completely linear with the rest of the world, such as Percy and Annabeth in the labyrinth. They were in there for what felt like a few minutes, and in fact it was hours, meaning the whole camp tried to search for them. Or in the Sea of Monsters, they were in there for a few days, and it turned out to be 10. And lastly, just from Percy's perspective, on Calypso's island it felt like a few days, and he was actually there for a few weeks, which led to people believing he was dead and starting to mourn him. So my wishy-washy counter to this theory is that time in all of these places isn't linear. Doesn't necessarily follow that of the rest of the world, of the mortal world. So I kind of believe they just kind of balance each other out. Like he loses a few days there, gains a few days here, loses a few hours, few weeks, whatever it is. It's all kind of staying on the same track. I've got to say, it's a pretty weak counter theory. But at the end of the day, we see the event happen on his 16th birthday. And I can't think of another way within the established lore and story that it can work. I mean, I like the theory. It's a good one. It's an interesting one. But I just think we've got too many established facts around that point in the book that it was all leading to, that it can't be the case. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And, well, I'll see you next time in a couple of days on the 3rd of December. Goodbye.